Hello, welcome to another episode of Get Up Time Podcast. I am so excited because this is our first interview with my dear friend Felicia, or Fee, as she also goes by. So, hi, Felicia.
What's up, Ginger?
How are you today?
Girl, counting my blessings.
I love it. So, for anybody who's listening right now, background, this interview has been okay. So, how many weeks have we been trying to do this for?
Oh man, I don't know, but timing is everything. So we're doing it now. I'm thankful.
Yes, and then get this, guys. Like, we recorded a whole episode. Like, it was great, and then it didn't save.
Not at all, but we bounce back and we get back at it.
Yes, just getting it done, and hopefully, I don't say anything too crazy because I am working this weekend, so I worked last night. I'm kind of tired right now, even though it's like 2:00 in the afternoon, but whatever. So we're just going to keep it real.
Love it.
So, Felicia, would you like to tell the listeners about yourself?
Sure. Okay. So as Ginger just said, my name is Felicia. I go by Fee. I would say some of the things I love to do is being in the physical therapy profession, but not as a physical therapist. I am super honored that I have a consulting marketing business where I market for physical therapy private practice owners. Me and an assistant, we do that together. And I also mentor physical therapy students. While I was a student, I was able to do things like speak at conferences, attend conferences for free, and even got 2 jobs locked down. So I was able to be a student. Now I'm kind of like a teacher and mentor to physical therapy students. And I love volunteering with my youth ministry. So I volunteer with the middle and high school students. But that's it. There's more, but there's always more.
And you are from the great state of Texas, right?
Yes, H-Town, where it go down. Houston.
Yes, I love it. That's so awesome. And I just remembered there's some things I wanted to say not going forward, about these whole interviews. So I love how you said that you got the opportunity to speak at conferences and just the opportunity to speak. And I want to since it's the first interview, I want to say something so people kind of know where I'm coming from. So with these interviews, like, you are the first of hopefully many, and I'm just super excited about that. We definitely have some awesome people lined up, but it was really important for me to have interviews on my podcast because, I can do great things on my own, and I can tell my own story. But in the same way that my story has power, someone else's story has power too. And so, there's something that you might say that somebody else might relate to that, physical therapy, I have no background in that. There's so many experiences that you may have that I don't have, or vice versa. And I think that is the beauty of coming together and doing this. So that is one of the reasons why it's important to me to do these interviews. And I'm so excited about them, because we get some fresh perspective and some energy, especially on this first episode. When I told people that I was going to be doing an interview with you, they were like, oh my goodness, all the energy that is about to be up on that podcast. And thank God, because I definitely need it right now. But,
I got you.
Yes, I'm super excited. I'll also continue to be transparent here. So on the first and original top secret, never been released interview that we did, just so you guys, it just did get recorded.
I love that build up. Ooh, secret, top secret.
Yes,
released.
It was
time to think.
So good that it didn't even get out. Yeah, had to keep it under wraps. But that one was definitely more structured in how I planned to do my interviews. But when that recording didn't save, I kind of knew that there was a reason for it. But on the last episode, well, not the last episode, because it's not really an episode, but on our first interview, I had questions, and it was definitely more Q&A, back and forth. But on this one, I wanted to be a little bit more casual. And this is why I know everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Because I kind of totally shifted the direction of this interview. But two things that I wanted to keep the same was two of the questions that I had asked. So the first one had to do with fear, because I know that that's something that we all deal with in one way or another at some point in our lives, or maybe even right now. I don't know. And I think it's so important to just conquer your fears and overcome them and not let that hold you back, because fear just creates like limits. So anyways, my question for you is, what is a fear that you have had or currently have and that you are overcoming or have already overcame?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say, and I don't even know if I said this in the last interview, maybe I did. Just the fear of failing. And it's interesting because I think I do things to make excuses for why I fail, but just the fear of failing. I am one to procrastinate for an exam or a test literally like the night or 2 nights before. Number one, because there's most likely things going on that, I'm busy with. But I think I did that because I was like, well, if I fail, it's because I barely studied. Versus me just owning up and being like, yo, I did not absorb the information or whatever it was. But I would say I am on a journey of, yes, I'm still fearing, but I am fearing less. I'm not fearless, but I am fearing less. And it's something that one of my mentors, Dr. Lisa Holland, she made a comment about, let's fear less. Let's have a fearless Friday. Tell us what your fears are. She's like, we could still fear, but let's just have a little less fear and still act on things. So I still get fearful of failing, but I don't let that hold me back from doing certain things, because just like you said, Ginger, as you interview people, it allows other people to receive something and learn. Same thing with me trying something new. By me trying something new, failing, trying something again, and me sharing my testimony and journey with someone else, they can be able to be a little bit more, they're able to fear less and try to act on what's in their heart to do. So, I'm conquering that. I'm learning to fear less more and more each day and just going at it and going for different things in life.
I really love that, because so many people can relate to that, including myself. And it's so funny because I'm definitely the type to be like, I'm fearless, like superwoman, like nothing can hold me back. But I really love what you said about I'm not fearless, I'm fearing less, because that's real. Like this whole fearless, like, okay, stop playing, you definitely have some fears. But when you say like I am fearing less, that's just real. Like that's honest. That's literally what it is. And it's in the present tense. So it's like an active thing. Like every day I'm fearing less.
Absolutely.
So I really love that. And one of my favorite quotes is, I always feel like I'm going to butcher it, but it's Nelson Mandela, I believe. And it's, I never lose, I win or learn. So I don't know. That always helps me. And instead of thinking about winning or losing, it's winning or learning. And when you say it like that, it takes a lot of like the fear out of whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish, because it's either going to go the right way or you're going to learn. And like that wisdom and learning is priceless. So that is awesome.
That is powerful. That is powerful.
Definitely good. Yeah. And thank you for like bringing, oh my gosh, like I wouldn't even be having this conversation without you. So I cannot wait to put that on the show notes. I am not fearless. I am fearing less. I love that. That's what I'm about to make a t-shirt. Okay. So question number 2 was, okay, so if you don't know, Get Up 10 podcast is named after the song Get Up 10 by Cardi B. And it really just has to do with this kind of grit and resilience that you approach life with. And so in the song, which eventually in the near future, I do hope to finally add to the intro. But like in the song, she says, knock me down 9 times, but I get up 10. And I really believe like that's how you have to come at life. Like no matter how many times you fall, get back up. Wow, I just thought of another quote, but I can't even think of the words. But oh my gosh, it's just so powerful. Maybe E.T. said it, Eric Thomas. I think there was something about like if you fall on your back, because if you can look up, then you can get up.
Yes, that's it. Good thing we both listen to ET. That's exactly it.
Right. I really love that. Oh my gosh, so powerful. But yeah, so how has life knocked you down and how have you gotten back up?
Oh man, that's good. Number one, big ups to Cardi B for that. I like that. Like, I'm about to put myself on blast. I have not heard the song or the album yet, but I remember you said it's like you fall 9 times and get up 10. I remember I said this before, but I still remember. But she has like a mama, a grandpa, somebody who took her to church, because that's scripture, not the 9 to 10, but the 7. It's literally a Proverbs. For those the righteous fall 7 times, they rise up again. So I love that. But yeah, so back to what you said about what is something that I maybe failed at, or is that right? Let me make sure. Look, I'm being crazy and then I come back.
No, yeah, like something that has knocked you down.
Yeah, let me see. I would say something that has knocked me down. Ooh, we go through so many trials and tribulations. Like, which one do I pick? I would say applying to physical therapy school. So I applied to physical therapy school. And I had my master's. So I applied to physical therapy school, which is a doctorate program. And I applied to like 5 or 6 schools and I did not get into any of them. I was like, are you serious? Like, I had my master's, I volunteered, I got my, hours, amazing letters, recommendations, like what's going on? So I talked to the admissions counselor of those schools and they're like, well, just apply again. And one school actually reached out to me and they said, for me to retake some courses. So I did that. I went to community college and I retook those courses. And I wasn't even at a point where like, I have my master's. Why do I have to go to community college? Yo, I love community college because of the price. But I took those courses, retook them, volunteered some more. And then I applied and I got into the program. And I was so thankful. And I was actually with some of my students when we did a spring break community service, or it was like a summer trip. And I got the call from the school that I got in. And it was funny because we were doing an arts and craft project and my phone rang, but I like ignored it, rang again, ignored it. I was like, okay, bill collectors.
Damn it.
And one of my students was like, Miss Felicia, I'm just going to pick up your phone. I was like, okay, fine. And I'm like crafting something and she picks up my phone and she's like, Miss Felicia's phone. And then she looked at me like, Miss Felicia, I think it's important. I remember you were talking about school. I was like, okay. And then I stepped outside to take the call and my students were like, I'm not too sure what it's for, but let's start praying. These kids are so cool. Aww. But I got into physical therapy school and I was so thankful because I just thought about how long, number one, it took me to get into PT school because most of the time people get into PT school right after undergraduate school and then they transition straight into it. But I was like, I have classes to take. I have to get my master's to make my resume look better. And then I still didn't even get in. So that was an area for me. And that was just one. That was just one little area. And through that time, when I was getting my master's, the last semester, my father actually passed away. He was battling cancer. And I almost did not want to finish school just because of emotionally draining. And also because it was like a school that he went there for a little bit. He walked the halls, like me and him were walking the halls once. And he was like, oh, this hallway is named after the president when I was here back in 1970. And I was like, okay, Daddy, really? He's like, no, I'm for real. I was like, oh, that's cool. So me walking through those halls, thinking about the conversation that I had with my dad, it was hard. I mean, not to make mine heavier than someone else, but to be walking the halls that you and your dad walked together, him making jokes about how the hallway is named after somebody that was the president during his time. It was hard. It was heavy. And I was like, do I even want to still go to class? But me just thinking about that moment where it was hard emotionally for me to continue to go to school, but thinking of how much he valued education, even to the point where he didn't finish school, but he was like, I want to go back. Yeah, I'm 50 or 60, but I'm still going to go back to school. So that was one area where I kept on going to pursue that degree, even though it was tough. I didn't mean to re-navigate it to that. But yeah, that was one pivotal area in my life as well.
Wow. I did not know that about you. But I feel like that's kind of special because it's so interesting how like God will put you in a place and you have no idea the significance it will have in your life later.
Yeah.
You know? It's almost like that was definitely the place that you were meant to be. And shout out to you for pushing through and getting it done, because loss is not easy for sure. So that was definitely a perfect answer, and you're awesome.
God's grace. God's grace. Thank you.
Yes. I love how you always talk about school, because not always. You definitely don't always talk about school. But I love how it has come up in our discussions recently. And I definitely hope that it could help somebody out there who is maybe in grad school or like thinking about it or whatever. Yeah, because your girl definitely is not. I'm so drained from undergrad. But last time we spoke, I know you spoke about failing a class. I don't want to throw your business out there, but if you could touch on that again, absolutely. I would definitely appreciate that.
Oh, I don't mind at all. It is not, hey, the business that I share with others, it can be a testimony for other people. But yes, when I failed that class, I was like, I was just like, really? I put in all this effort. I gave up sleep. But if I can be honest with myself, I really wasn't fully giving it my all, but still I failed. And I was like, okay, number one, this is grad school. So it's expensive when you fail a course. It's not like going to undergrad or at a community college. The price is much different. It's much higher. So yes, I was taking out loans, and it's going to be more that I pay back for something that I failed. So when I took the class over again the second time, at first I was a little bit upset with myself. I was like, okay, I have to retake it. I have to retake it with another class because it puts you in a different cohort. But I was like, you know what? All right, let me just do what I got to do. Let me knock out this course and pass it. And I did. And it was just a journey for me. So I was like, Felicia, what did you do the first time that gave you the result of failing? All right. You got that. Now, what can you do this second time around to dodge whatever it is that you did or did not do that made you fail that class? So it was just a wake up call. I was like, Felicia, if you're serious about school, if this is your passion of what you want to do, you got to make a change and make it happen and stay focused in school. So I would say I was very thankful for that, because during that time, I was also taking a marketing course in physical therapy, and it just enlightened my perspective to physical therapy beyond treating patients. So it that began to evolve. A whole lot of other things came from that. So I'm actually thankful for failing. Like I said, I'm fearful of it, but I'm thankful I failed because it made me appreciate certain things within physical therapy more, and even re-navigated me to have a desire for something else within physical therapy that's marketing. So I'm very thankful for that. I wasn't in the moment, but I was thankful after a while.
That is awesome. And I love how you self-assessed and like brought it back and just kept it real with yourself. Like, okay, like what did I do here? Instead of like, man, these teachers, they don't want to see me win. Like, no, like I love how you held yourself accountable, and like self-awareness and self-assessment, super important. But last time we spoke about this, I remember you talking about how part of the blow, or being knocked down, we could say, to use proper Get Up Pen terminology, was how like you saw yourself as like this doctorate student and physical therapy, and like this was part of like how you like labeled yourself or your identity. And I wanted to talk about that because I feel like identity is such an important issue. And let's talk about it.
Absolutely. And just to comment, when you said self-assess, that has been like the word and mantra, one of my mantras for the year. Look, I always hear CJ on the podcast that we listen to called Secret to Success with Eric Thomas, CJ, and Carl. But he always talks about the ability to self-assess. That's been one I've been more intentional about this year. But yes. Okay. So with my identity, you got good memories. So... And I'm glad you even made that comment previously when you stated I talk about school a lot. But I have been in school just about all my life, probably all my life except for 3 years, because I even started school early because my mom was like, one older kid's in school, this one needs to go in school. So I started school like at age 2 or 1.5. I don't know, but like my daycare was school. My mom put me in Head Start. She's like, she gonna learn something early.
I love it.
But I mean, when I graduated with my bachelor's, I transitioned to getting my master's. Literally from December, yay, Merry Christmas, graduation. Started my master's in January at the Texas Southern University, one of the most amazing HBCUs. But after I had my master's, I think I had like maybe a 2-year break, and then I went into my doctorate program. But during that 2-year break, I was still taking classes at HCC. So I've always been a student for so long, and I think that was what my identity was. And if I could be real, I think I even like held that on a pedestal. Like, oh, I'm Felicia. I have my master's. Oh, I'm Felicia. I'm working on my doctorate of physical therapy. Like that was my main identity. And I don't know why I held on to it. I know my mother and my father, they value education strongly. My parents, they immigrated from Nigeria to America and had my sister and I, and they always instilled the value of education, especially in this country where, you know, depending on your preference, but you could go to a public school and not have to pay for it, or charter school, receive scholarships. It's much different in other countries besides the US. So education was a big thing that my parents instilled in us at a very young age, hence me being in Head Start at age 2. But transitioning to me becoming a young adult with my master's and me labeling myself, oh, I'm Felicia, the doctorate student. If I could be honest, I was seriously feeling myself. Excuse the term, but like I was holding myself up to a high esteem status of Felicia, that's my name, and my label is Doctor Physical Therapy student. And when I failed that class, to take it back, I'm like, yo, am I still Felicia, the Doctor Physical Therapy student that also fails a class? Is that what I'm going to add on to my label? But as I was able to see other skill sets, talents, and gifts that people noticed within me, I was able to not just identify myself with me being a student, but identify myself with different skill sets and things that I do. Me volunteering, being a servant at my church, I was like, oh, okay, that's another label I can rock with. Me doing marketing for physical therapy, private practice owners, I was like, okay, that's another label. Me mentoring physical therapy students while I was in school, like helping them get a promotion and a raise. I helped this one physical therapy student get a raise in her job. I was like, okay, so I like mentor physical therapy students to negotiate, you know, how much their income is going to be. I could do that. But once I realized that, I realized, you know what, my identity is in serving others. It's not just as one box in category of being a physical therapist. Not to discredit that, because physical therapy is a phenomenal profession that I'm still a part of. But I see myself serving in a greater magnitude to help others, to guide others, especially students, and serving the profession. So it was interesting because, I would say it happened this whole past year. I mean, we're recording this now, December in 2018. In January, I turned 30. Hey, Club 30. But
even though I'm not there yet.
hey, it's good. Take your time.
I was celebrating with you though.
But it's been an interesting journey in this past year, literally from me identifying myself as a PT student to a small business owner to a mentor to a small business owner with an assistant. Like, it's been an interesting journey. So through that identity, I think my core foundation is I'm a servant. I'm a child of God. I'm here to serve with my gifts and my skill sets. So, yeah, that was my answer in a very long-winded approach.
Amen. And yes. So I love how your focus went from like, I am, like, look at me, to like, look at all the stuff that I do for other people. And I think that's when you're really winning in life, is like when you're serving others and like helping others out. I feel like, I mean, definitely like take care of yourself and love yourself, but you cannot go wrong like helping other people be their best self, for real. And also, I just feel like all these labels that like we put on ourselves, society puts on ourselves, our parents put on ourselves, etc., like however they may get there, they could be kind of like dangerous, because like you said, like you'll have yourself thinking like, I am this, like this is it right here, whatever it may be. And then life happens. And all of a sudden you're questioning that label, and you're having like this whole identity crisis over like a label. And that's why I think it's just so important to know like who you really are, and things that you could really be for life. Like you can, I mean, you could be a student for the rest of your life if you want to. I don't know if you're trying to do that, but I don't know if you want to be like the doctoral. I don't even know how to say it properly. Like the doctoral student for the rest of your life. Like I don't know. I don't think that's what you want to do. But like mentor and servant, like those are things that you could definitely rock with, like for till the day you die, for real, for real. So absolutely. I love it.
And I'll always be like a lifelong learner, but maybe not within the constraints of being within a school or program like that. But I mean, like us, like we're fortunate that we're in a mentor group, a business accountability group where we're learning from others. So in that aspect, yes, but not within the four walls of always being in some type of school or institution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. Lifelong learners for sure. That is definitely the way to go, because I don't know, I feel like learning is attached to growth, and they say like if you're not growing, you're dying. So I mean, we're all kind of dying anyways, but I'm not trying to like accelerate that, you know? Like I'm trying to make the most of my life while I'm here. Like
here we go.
For real. But yeah, back to the whole label thing. I just realized like when it comes to labels and how you identify yourself, I kind of feel like if it's something that you cannot say for like the rest of your life, to a degree, like you should be careful of how much value you place in it, you know?
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, because I don't know, like life just, oh my gosh, life is full of like seasons and chapters.
Seasons.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And those seasons change. I mean, there's seasons of like somebody was saying, oh, the snow's coming in. So, you know, that means it's going to clear out all the grass or whatever, but it's going to be real green grass or whatever it is. We just have different seasons of life.
Yes. Oh, yes. I say that like that, but I mean, sometimes they're so grateful for the different seasons. And sometimes it is a little rough. But speaking of seasons and chapters and all of that, one of the other questions I had for you previously that I wasn't going to bring up on this interview, but I will bring it up because it is a fun one. What would you call this chapter of life that you are in right now?
Ooh, I remember I said previously, like we'll give you a little bit of the exclusive interview, but previously I said,
right.
I think I said the beginning, but now I am going to say this chapter is the new discovery.
Ooh.
It probably sounds the same.
No, that sounds like way better.
New discovery.
What are you discovering?
Man, I would just say discovering how I can serve more. Of course, who I am in Christ, but discovering how I'm using my gifts and my skill sets to really be a blessing to serve others more. Because I would say, if I can remember, if I can count, I've always heard people speak life into the things that I do in my personality and my gifts and my skill sets. Like you do this so naturally. Things with marketing and just connecting with people and speaking. And I think I didn't want to own that, but now I'm newly discovering how I can use my gifts to allow others to use their gifts and give them a platform to just get going with their God-given talents and things like that. So yeah, this chapter is the new discovery.
I love it. That's so awesome. And I just wish you like the best of luck as you continue to uncover these things. Like, awesome.
Thank you.
And obviously, like, if the listeners can't already tell, you're just such a beautiful person, like, inside and out. Like, they don't make them like you.
Thank you. And you know, I'm going to have to ask, what would you call the chapter of this area of your life, or this season for yourself?
I'm going with the same answer as I did on the Top Secret
Top Secret interview.
Yes. I forgot how I worded it. What did I say? Like, the sun is coming out? Yeah. I
remember.
The sun, this chapter of my life is called The Sun is Coming Out. Because it's definitely been a little cloudy out. Just transitioning from being in school and being a student and having that like built-in structure to like to the working world and just like other stuff that's been going on in my life and trying to reestablish that structure and order and just peace, I guess you could say. But I really feel like 22 and 2019 is going to be an awesome year for me. Like, I honestly, even though the past few months have been a little rough for me, like when I look back at all I accomplished at the age of 21, like it is pretty awesome. Like, I can't even downplay it. So I'm so excited to
don't ever downplay
it. Yeah, I'm so excited to continue that into I almost said 2022. Whew, mixing things up here. Into 2019. I just have some really big goals and I'm really excited and things are definitely looking up. So the sun is coming out.
I love that.
All right. Well, I think we're good here. Is there anything you would like to add before we wrap up?
Just thank you. Thank you for inviting me to your space, to your podcast, to just share. I am so honored that I'm the first guest that you interviewed, and times two, because we got the top secret interview from previous days before. But thank you so much for letting me be part of the Get Up 10 family. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're so welcome. And thank you for giving up your time to do this with me. I'm so excited for people to hear this and just I hope they soak up some. I feel like there's certain people who are just like sunshine and you are one of them. So I hope people could soak that up and get some gems from this interview. And I also want to say thank you a billion times because pretty much there would be no Get Up 10 without you. Because I remember I knew I wanted to start my podcast, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And I came to you and you were on top of things. You sent me a PDF of step-by-step instructions on how to set everything up. You sent me a video and you were we were calling back and forth, FaceTiming, trying to figure everything out. And so I would not be here today if not for you. For real, for real. I am so appreciative of you. And also, speaking of podcasts, you have your own podcast. So go ahead and tell the people about what you do with that.
I do. And Get Up 10 was still going to come. I know it is because you want to do something, you're going to do it. I just gave you the tools and you work with the tools. But it was my honor to share all that information that I piled together for you. But yes, I have a podcast also. It is called Go Time. So it is just about people who push past their fears, do what they got to do because it's go time. Push those fears to the side, get resources from people, and just make it happen. But yeah.
Yes, I love that. It's go time. And that's really what Get Up done. And every episode is about that. I also do. It's go time. It's time to get it done. And now I feel like it's time for me to go back to sleep. No, but
different seasons.
Right? No, but your energy definitely made this interview a breeze. So I'm so thankful for that.
Oh, thank you, Ginger.
Thank you. Honestly, I think this is not a little, more than a little, a lot better than the top secret episode. So, the people are really getting their money's worth here.
They are.
All right. Well, again, thank you for being a part of Get Up 10 podcast. Appreciate you so much. And I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. And I'm so excited to continue to hear about this chapter of the new discovery.